Feel that I must say something of my dream that I had on June the 13th, 2024. I've had vivid dreams like this before, and in most cases they come true in some form or fashion. But this one was different than anything I have ever experienced. I'm just telling you the story of the dream and what happened. And I'm not telling you a day or an hour. I don't know that. I just know what I saw, and you do with the story as you like. I was in some kind of structure, and there was lots of people, as if we were on a ship or a building. I can't tell you. It was solid and had windows. What happened next was unbelievable. There was some kind of storm. The waves came in and picked up this structure, and you could see the waves underneath the structure, and it moved us 100 yards, and then it did it again, and it picked us up again, and again, and it was a strange feeling being lifted up around that way, but I was not really afraid. The windows were opened, and we all walked out. Uh, I was on solid ground, and the water was gone. And what was odd was the waves were gone, but the sky was blue, and it was a nice day with a few cotton ball clouds spread large distances apart, with a few thin, stringy cotton candy ones together too. I felt at peace for some odd reason, and what happened next was amazing. I was looking up at this blue sky, and there was this being, this person that had to have been at least 9 foot tall. And I could not see their face, but their arms gently reached underneath mine and around my chest, where the V starts at my ribs. And they were in white clothing, and my arms sat on top of theirs as like a small child sitting in their dad's lap. Their hands had an angelic glow along with their robes. Then it was as if my entire body had no weight. There was no pressure on my chest as they picked me up. In most cases, when you're an adult, people pick you up. It's never comfortable, and that wasn't that. It was not the same feeling. I was as light as a feather. As they picked me up, we began to move up to the sky. At first, it was slow, as if I was lifted by an elevator, but it began to move faster and faster, and moving at a higher rate of speed. And then we broke through the atmosphere of the blue sky to the stars, and then we moved at that point into the stars. They zipped by at hyper speed that was slow, and what we were doing was faster than that, and somehow I just knew that we were just moving faster than that. It was beyond time and space, and I felt at peace, and I called out as if I knew who the person I was going to see, and I said, Jesus. And when I said his name aloud, the next second after that, the stars were gone, and the bright door I went through. And then when I went through the door, I looked down, and my clothes were changed to white robes, and I had no shoes, and I was floating a few feet off of the ground. It was pure green grass, the only way I can explain it. And I was no longer being held by that angelic being. And I floated down, and my feet gently touched the grass, and the whole area around me was gold light. And I could smell as if it was fresh cut grass, but the grass wasn't cut. And my toes went through the grass and the ground. It was soft as a pillow, yet solid. And could be a little disappointed. And I looked up at the light, and it began to change and dim and into black and white. And it's just a split second, and I could not see anything into a distance other than some structure for just a second. And I faded, and I woke up, and I stayed awake for a few minutes and gave thanks to God and went back to sleep. And I was calm and at peace. It was just that. It was peaceful. But before I went back to sleep, I looked at the clock. It said 3:11 a.m. Next, I tell you about me and that I'm no better than you. This next bit I can only give credit to the livingwaters.com as I'm paraphrasing at this point. Is that I'm a sinner and that I've broken every commandment. I've lied, and that makes me a liar. I've stolen things, and that makes me a lying thief. I've blasphemed God's name in anger. Jesus said, if you look upon a person in lust, that you've committed adultery in your heart, and I'm not any better than anyone else. But I tell you that I have a blessed hope that I confess that Jesus, Yeshua, lived. He's the Son of the living God. He died on the cross for my sin. He rose again on the third day to fulfill the scripture, and that he will come back to rule as the Prince of Peace, the Lord of Lords, and the King of Kings. Thinking of the sins I've committed, that God can forgive me as Jesus paid the price for my sin. I struggle with it. I try not to do those things. And I turn from my ways most days, but I fall and I get back up. I get back onto the path. And Jesus, Yeshua is the parachute that saves you from the falling out of an airplane. And trust in him. Stay on that path. Only the grace and the abundant mercy of the Father, which is what I pray for everyone, for my family and my friends, my coworkers. I pray for them in their salvation. I have a blessed hope despite my struggles. Even in the depths of my sin, he's still with me. You can listen to my words. You seek the truth and ask Jesus, Yeshua, for it. Seek the light. Seek him honestly. Question boldly for the truth. Ask him if that is he that is true, that he reveal himself to you so that you can follow his ways. I pray that I see you in the clouds. May you have mercy from the living God. And I don't know you, but I pray for you and your family's salvation. So the final note, if you hear that people are missing from around the world, they they may say that someone or something took them, or that they ascended to a higher plane of existence. This isn't true. Jesus took us. He's the groom, and we're the bride of the church. Anyway, thanks for listening. God bless. Check out the livingwaters.com or the chosen.tv for some good stories and good information. Thanks for listening.